Hey guys, on today's video, I'm going to give you a quick overview on block volume service on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, and also we are going to wrap up with a quick demo so that we can tie the theory with the practice. You ready? Alright, before we jump right into the content, I would like to ask you, please go ahead and subscribe yourself on our channel. Hit the subscribe button, and if you use the Instagram, please go ahead and follow us there because we are sharing a lot of cool stuff over there as well. It is thecloudbootcamp.english. It's going to be awesome to have all of you over there as well. Alright, when we talk about block volume on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, usually we have three main use cases that we can think of, right? And the first one is the persistent and durable storage. If you think about that, whenever you need to spin up a new compute instance on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, let's say you want to create a new Linux VM or a new Windows VM, you need to have some sort of durable storage where your operating system files and even application files or data files can be stored, right? So if you think about that, the block volume is a good fit for these types of use cases because you should have some sort of storage, I would say, or some type of virtual storage where you can put your data files or your operating system files, right? And the second use case that usually you can use the block storage on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is when you want to expand your instance capacity, right? And what do I mean by that? Let's say that you already have a compute instance running on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and you want to expand that capacity. Let's say that you have a file system with 50 GB and this file system is running out of space, right? You have almost 90% of utilization and you need to expand the capacity. And in those cases, you can also use the block storage, attach this block storage to the compute instance and expand the file system capacity. And the third use case that usually you can use the block volume on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is whenever you work with instance scaling, right? So let me give you one example. Let's say that you already have one compute instance running and this instance has one small shape and you want to change the shape of this instance. You want to give a bigger shape, like more vCPUs or more memory for that particular VM, and usually what you do is you need to stop the VM or the compute instance which is running. The block storage which is associated to that instance will be persisted. You are not going to remove it, and you're going to use the same block storage or the same block volume that the instance was using before to spin up a new instance using a bigger shape. So that's the third use case that you can have on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure when it comes to block volume. Okay, now I would like to jump right into the demo so that you can see it in practice. Alright, so I'm here on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure console right now. I'm going to log in using my credentials. So it's going to log into the dashboard. Okay, right now I'm right here on the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure dashboard. As you can see, when you first come into this screen, you're going to notice a few quick things that you can do on OCI. You can spin up a new instance, you can create a new autonomous database, and you can create a new load balancer. You can store or upload storage to the object storage. But right now on today's video, my focus will be on the block storage so that you can understand how the use cases will fit here into the practice. Okay, so if you want to go and see the block storage, you need to click on the menu on the left hand side on the top, and then you go ahead and select block storage and click in block volumes. Okay, whenever it loads, it will show you the block volumes screen. So this is the screen where you can create a new block volume. You can create a new virtual hard disk to associate to your instances on OCI. For creating it, it's pretty simple. You just click on the create block volume, and I'm going to go through all the options with you so that you can understand the options that you have to create a new block storage on OCI. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to give a name for the block storage. Pretty simple. For example, data1. I want to have my block volume with the data1 name. And then the second thing that I need to do is I need to select in which compartment my block volume will be created, right? And what is a compartment? Compartment is is a logical container where you can organize your resources in your Oracle Cloud Infrastructure tenancy. Okay, so in my case, I don't have many compartments. I just have the root compartment created at this time. I will leave it as a root compartment. And the next thing that you need to do is you need to select in which availability domain your block volume will be created. Usually you need to pick one of the three, right? If the region that you're working has 3 availability domains, it will show up in here. But if your region has just one, like the São Paulo region, probably you're going to see just one AG over here. Okay, I'm going to select the AG2, which is always free eligible. And the next thing that I'm going to do here is to give the size of the block storage, right? So what is the size of the block storage or the block volume in here? So basically, if you think about on the on-premises days, if you want to have a virtual disk associated to your instance, you need to give a size, right? And this size will actually define what's going to be the size of the block volume that will be associated for your VM later on. So whatever size that you give in here is the size that you are going to have available to use on your virtual machine or on your bare metal host. Okay, so I will leave as 50 GB. It's a pretty good size for this demonstration. It's going to ask me what is the compartment for my backup policy. I'll leave it as a root compartment. And the next thing that is going to ask is what is the backup policy for this block volume, right? And the backup policy for the block volume is, as you can see, backup policies define the frequency and retention period for scheduled backups. What happens here in OCI when it comes to the block volume, you can have backups or automated backups for your block volumes. And these backups could be in different policies. You have gold, silver, and bronze policies. Policies will have different characteristics like retention and other things. Okay, for now, I will not select any backup policy for this block volume creation. And the next thing that is going to ask in here is the block volume performance, right? So now OCI gives you the option to select based on the performance that you need for the block volume, right? So let's say that you're creating this block volume for a very lightweight VM, which will not have that much of I/O. So it's going to be a very lightweight VM. And for those cases, you can select the lower cost, right? Because it's going to cost less. But let's say that you have a very I/O intensive workload that you're planning to use on the host that this block storage will be associated to. Then in those cases, you may want to use the higher performance block volumes, right? Because those will give you higher IOPS and higher throughput as well. Okay, and the next thing that is going to ask you is if you want to use encryption using the Oracle managed keys or your managed keys or customer managed keys, the keys that you can customize using the key management service from OCI. And that's pretty much that. You also have the option to add the tag. The tag is just a metadata that allow you to organize and track your resources on OCI. As an example, I will give you the tag environment, and then I'll say that the environment tag has the value of demo, just saying that this environment is just a demonstration environment, right? Just like you can identify your resources, right? Let's say you are creating this block volume in a production environment, you could give the tag environment equals to production so that you can know that this tag is from a production environment, right? And once you're ready, you just hit on the create block volume and OCI is going to provision the block volume for you. Okay, once the block volume is provisioned, it's going to show here. It's in provisioning state right now. Usually it is pretty quick, but once it is provision, you're going to see all the information regarding to the block volume that was created right here in the block volume screen. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of more hands-on content, please go ahead and leave me your thumbs up and also leave your comment as well. I'm going through all the comments. I want to hear from you guys if you like this type of videos. Okay, I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.